Central Time. Enjoy the games in West Lafayette and Iowa City.
The following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Year 2 of the Ryan Walters era at Purdue begins with an in-state showdown against Indiana State here in West Lafayette, while a new era in the Big Ten kicks off from coast to coast.
The only thing certain in life is change. Change is a drummer who never loses the beat. Always playing in time. Throughout time. For years, Big Ten football filled stadiums and set records on TV. Winning the hearts of Middle America and championships along the way. This week, the Big Ten hits the airwaves in full stereo. A conference that spans from the Atlantic to the Pacific. A louder, faster beat. Backed by an 18-team orchestra.
Copy.
Ready to launch a hard-hitting symphony. Welcome to a new day. Welcome to the new Big Ten.
Here are the 2024 Purdue Boilermakers. In front of an expected sellout crowd at Ross-Ade Stadium today, Purdue enters with raised expectations here in 2024. Big Ten Network College Football is brought to you by Taco Bell. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth alongside Jay Lehman. I'm Pat Boylan. It is year 2 in the Ryan Walters era. Some encouraging moments in year number 1. So, Jay, what does progress look like here in year 2?
Well, beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Take care of the football offensively. Limit the explosive plays that hurt you last year. And, of course, and this might be the trickiest, stay healthy if you're Purdue. Not the deepest team, but a very talented team.
Well, it helps when you have experience at quarterback, and the Boilermakers certainly do here with Hudson Card.
Yeah, Hudson Card's a phenomenal playmaker, not just with his arm, but also with his feet. Graham Harrell, the offensive coordinator, says this guy can make every single throw you want him to make. Downfield, horizontal, mid-range, but he can also move. It has mobility that's underrated, not just to make plays when stuff breaks down, but to scramble for a throw when everything else looks like it's all lost.
It's his 5th and final year of college football, his 2nd year at Purdue here today. Now, Ryan Walters' defense is his calling card. Well, he's got a great one back in the defensive backfield, one of the top young safeties in all of college football.
Yeah, this defense is going to go as Dylan Thieneman goes. He's the quarterback, the center fielder of this defense. He plays free safety. He'll be all over the field. 6 interceptions in 2023, 107 tackles on his way to Big Ten Freshman of the Year. He's got some portal help as well at corner this year to shore up the back end that gave up too many explosive plays. I'm looking forward to seeing this Boilermaker team play a Ryan Walters-esque defense in year 2.
Well, it is the Purdue Boilermakers here and the Indiana State Sycamores. And Jay, as we go into week number 1, anticipation always high, excitement always high. What are these moments like here for the players?
Well, it's nothing like the fall, getting kicked off on a Big Ten Saturday here in the Midwest. Truly special to get this college football season kicked off in your first game of the year.
So it's the Purdue Boilermakers, the Indiana State Sycamores. And we have had some hot temps, but the temperature has cooled down just a bit here in West Lafayette. A lot of humidity, but 76 degrees here is we start maybe a little warmer than usual.
5 miles per hour on the wind, though. You got to love that if you love to air it out like Graham Harrell. Sometimes this stadium can be like a wind tunnel in the Midwest in October, as you see Ryan Walters, the second-year head man, looking to improve from his 4-8 start to get this program to a bowl game and competing at the highest level.
And there is Ryan Walters in his second season here with the Boilermakers. He came over from Illinois, where he was defensive coordinator after turning around the Illini defense. And he really, for the first time, Jay, has had a full offseason, a normal offseason, if you will, at head coach.
Ebbs and flows of a season, and you look over here, this is Kurt Mallory, a guy in his 8th season at Indiana State for the Sycamores of the Indiana State Sycamores, and he's looking to have a great show today against the Boilermakers.
Now, these two teams matched up back in 2022. It was a 56-0 win for Purdue. They'll match up one more time in 2026. There's nothing quite like the excitement of opening day here of college football. And Ben Freehill is going to get us started. And the 2024 Purdue Boilermakers season is underway as Rashad Rochelle will take a knee, and that'll send out the Indiana State offense. It's a revamped Indiana State offense. After struggling a year ago, they were held to just 13 points per game. They used 4 different quarterbacks, but they feel like they've got their guy here in redshirt freshman Elijah Owens.
Yeah, he's a guy that played 4 games last season, and then in the offseason really separated himself as the leader of this football team out of Jacksonville, Illinois. Big-bodied guy, sturdy for just his second year in the program, and he's ready to make a statement here for the Sycamores, improve on that completion percentage and be more accurate, take better care of the football.
This offense was held into single digits in 7 of their 11 games a year ago. Kurt Mallory feels like they've taken the necessary steps in the offseason to see some improvement here. As Indiana State opens up in the pistol, and this is Ples Lawrence on first down. He is a speedster, but Purdue has it covered, no gain.
Purdue's so big up front, right? Able to make plays all over that front 4. They've really worked to get that healthy and beefed up in this Ryan Walters D, and you're going to see lots of guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Everybody within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage here.
Empty set on 2nd down and 10. They'll swing it out to Rashad Rochelle, who cuts upfield and picks up 3. The Sycamores are looking at 3rd down here on their opening possession.
And if you're the Sycamores, it's 3rd and long. You see the replay here as they attack with great pursuit on the jailbreak screen. You don't want to have a negative play if you're the Sycamores. You want to try to obviously convert, but you don't want to have a negative play early on the road here.
Elijah Owens, the redshirt freshman. Purdue showing blitz. 3rd down and 7. They'll hand off to Lawrence, who cuts back, but he needed 7 and he won't get there.
Will Helt, this is a guy you're going to be hearing a lot about. Coaches very high on Will Helt, number 15. As a true freshman, played last year out of Carmel, Indiana. Kevin Kane said this guy could be a great one at the outside linebacker rush position. Popped right there, making the play on 3rd down for the Boilermakers.
So Harry Traum back to punt. He is a junior out of Melbourne, Australia. Had some votes at captain, one of the leaders on this team. Despite being the punter, he is somebody that this group looks up to. And Dylan Thieneman, the All-American, they've got him as the punt returner here to start 2024. It's a high snap. Traum comes down with it and gets it away. A low line drive kick should be returnable for Thieneman. And Thieneman will try the left side. And the Boilermakers with good field position to start their first possession.
A good job by Harry Traum bringing down that high snap. Exactly what you said. It was a low kick with not a lot of hang time to Thieneman, which gave him some room to run and make somebody miss. You know, he just backs up from his deep safety position and returns punts.
So we get a first look at the 2024 Boilermaker offense, and it's led by a veteran quarterback in senior Hudson Card. He's got his running mate with him, Devin Maccabee as well. High expectations here for the senior.
If Hudson Card can stay healthy, he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten. You look at his numbers, almost a 2-to-1 TD to interception ratio. But what was most impressive is late in the year, leading this team to 2 out of 3 games. They got victories late in the season. Really started to look like the leader of this offense then.
Play action on first down. They'll swing it out to Jamal Edrin, who is the junior FAU transfer. They look his direction right away. He did not play a year ago. It should be an inspiring story to watch after tearing his ACL in the second day of practice, and Edrin has 11 on first down.
Classic air raid. Throw the ball quick, get it out to Edrin in space, and let him make a move for a first down.
Oilers actually ran it more than they threw it a year ago. That surprised Graham Harrell just a little bit. But another quick trigger, another look at Jamal Edrin, and he cuts up, and he's got 2 first downs on Purdue's first 2 plays.
They're attacking that edge early. They're saying if you're going to let us pitch and catch to Edrin and get him in space, and he's a big body, Pat, in space, right? 6'3", 215, built different, as the young bucks say.
Well, they feel like he's their one guy that has wide receiver 1 potential, and they go right at him. Some intentional play calling here for Graham Harrell, who said he's been really chomping at the bit to get going, putting a lot of pressure on himself to be ready here in week number 1. Here's a first look at Devin Maccabee, and Maccabee able to catch the corner with a stiff arm. Maccabee has the first down. It's 3 plays and 3 first downs for Purdue.
And literally just counting the box there for Hudson Card. They had one less defender than could defend that run play, so they opted to run the football, and that's what they do. They spread you out. They can check run or pass.
And in the hurry up, back on the ground, Maccabee on the cutback. This time Indiana State ready for him. Devin Maccabee was the leading rusher for the Boilermakers a year ago. As we take a look at our impact players, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance, simple human sense.
Well, Devin Maccabee and Jamal Edrin, we've seen these guys already, right, making plays. Maccabee, look at the production his first 2 years here at Purdue, very productive. And Edrin, like we said, banged up last season, but now healthy. And of course, Garrett Olendijk, a good middle linebacker for the Sycamores. He'll be all over the field today.
Card hits his tight end, Max Clare. And another Purdue first down. Clare went down midway through the season a year ago in game number 6. Graham Harrell called him maybe the best tight end he's ever been around. He'll be a big weapon here in the passing game for the Boilers.
Yeah, he lit up like a Christmas tree when we talk about Max Clare. Max Clare got banged up last year, but can be so dynamic. They've had some great tight ends here at Purdue. So for them to say Max Clare can be phenomenal and the key to this offense, high praise.
Reggie Love in the game for his first possession. They'll flip it out into the flat. This is Drew Bibber, the tight end on the other side of the field, and Purdue inside the 5.
You always got to be alert for is Hudson Card and his legs in the red zone. He loves to run the football off of the zone read. I don't think you'll see it this early as they bring Reggie Love in to spot Devin Maccabee. You'd think they'd probably give it to him. But this is what they'll do. They'll get numbers, they'll spread out receivers, and they'll count the box. And if they want to throw to the outside or if they want to hand off to Love. Looks like a thin box here.
Bibber in motion. Card with time to throw. Card trying to roll out. He evades a tackle, and Card will go down. A sack for the Sycamores.
Yeah, and Card, if he could have seen him, had Reggie Love wide open out of the backfield. Number 23, Love, is not picked up by the Sycamore D. Watch 23 at the top of your screen. He'll be wide open. His eyes are looking away. Now, he wants to throw to Love right now and tries to, but the pursuit by the Sycamore defense, right? That was the key as we saw the Sycamores make the play. Jeffrey Brown with the sack.
3rd down and goal. Card with time to throw. He wants the end zone, and he's got Max Clare. It's an opening possession touchdown for the Boilers.
Yeah, he wants Max Clare on Maddox Blackwell, and Clare's so big, you throw it up high, gets 1-2 feet in, high points the football. Such a red zone weapon, Max Clare. Good to see him healthy.
So just what Ryan Walters and the Purdue offense drew up. An efficient first drive. Max Clare, you see him as a real weapon at tight end. Well, the Boilermakers, they've got a pair of kickers, and you might see both of them here today. Spencer Porath is the freshman out of Brownsburg, who really struggled in the kicking game a year ago. And Porath puts the extra point through. Card looking in mid-season form. The senior dials up the sophomore tight end for the opening touchdown. The Boilermakers with an early 7-0 lead here on Big Ten Network. Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Jordan Robinson. She joins us now. Hello, Jordan.
Hello, guys. Well, when you look at this Purdue roster, it looks a lot different from last year, and that's on purpose. You know, Coach Walters dig deep in recruiting, in the transfer portal, bringing in nearly 40 new players this season. And they said yes to come play at Purdue because, well, Walters said, let's call a spade a spade. He's a lot different than other Power 4 head coaches. He said it's his age at 38. He can relate to and communicate with these players. But it's also his cool factor, his swagger. He's walking around campus in Travis Scott Jordans. But beyond that, he relies on his high football IQ for recruits, and that's what they love about him. He grabbed players that first and foremost love football. No exceptions, guys.
Jordan, thank you. And yes, it's one of the youngest coaching staffs in the country. The two coordinators are 39 and 40. Walters at age 38. Second possession here. And it's going to be Elijah Owens on the fake, and Owens catches the outside. Elijah Owens near the first down markers for the Sycamores.
Little zone read action. Really good fake there by Elijah Owens. Thieneman came in to clean it up from his deep safety spot. That's what you're going to see defensively here from Purdue. You'll see 10 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and Thieneman all the way back almost 20 yards deep as the roof of this defense. That's the Ryan Walters defense run by Kevin Kane.
Rochelle in motion. The give is to Lawrence, who's taken down in the backfield. And that's Sheen Butler Lawson. Another back in the backfield. And it's a loss of 2 on first down.
Lamar J. Lewis with a big hit.
If you're looking for the Iowa-Illinois State game, go to btn.com/gamefinder right now to see where you can find the game in your area. Just like the Boilers, Indiana State goes with a couple of backs back there. Sheen Butler Lawson is a transfer out of Minnesota State after a decorated career at Mankato. And here is Butler Lawson straight forward. And it'll set up third down again here for the Sycamores. Antonio Stevens making the tackle for Purdue.
Butler Lawson, a lot different than Ples Lawrence, 6'2", 225, can barrel in and makes it third and manageable for the freshman quarterback Elijah Owens. And this is where Walters gets a little bit exotic. He likes to bring pressure on third down. He'll run a lot of man coverage, right? He really trusts his corners on the outside to lock down people, and he'll bring pressure in different fashions in his 5 down front. You'll see 5 down linemen here, 2 rush linebackers.
Empty set on third down and 6. Owens hit as he throws, and it's ahead of Butler Lawson, incomplete. And the Sycamores will send out the punting crew here for the second time in the first quarter. Hendrick Breedlove in on the coverage for Purdue.
And Jeffrey Imbot, 0 in on that play as well, creating pressure, not allowing Elijah Owens to step into his throw. So far, the front from this Purdue defensive line has really owned the front from Indiana State. And other than that counter play on the zone read from Elijah Owens, not much for the Sycamore O.
This Purdue defense has passed the early test here in the first quarter. And it's Harry Traum, junior, back to punt here for the second time in the early going here from West Lafayette. Traum just gets that one away. Another low line driver. And Thieneman will let it bounce. And Purdue will start at the 20-yard line. That Boilermaker offense went 8 plays, 55 yards, and had a touchdown on that opening possession. We'll see what Ryan Walters draws up here for possession number 2. Next Saturday, Big Ten Tailgate is live from Penn State's campus to set the scene for a full day of football. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
It's a fun time. I got a chance to stop by that show today. Talk about this game. It was always a good time with Mike Hull and Tyvis Powell.
Hudson Card was 5 for 5 on that opening possession. He looks to throw, and he's got his tight end again. Third reception for Max Clare. He's going to be a vital part of this offense here this year.
Layer route right here as they roll him out. Now we use the legs of Hudson Card. They'll roll him out to the left. Now look at the layer route. You'll see it's different layers, and the linebacker jumps up what we call the cheese. The cheese is the route underneath. Behind you is what they want to hit. He bit on the cheese, and Max Clare is wide open for the first down. Hudson Card wheeling and dealing early.
Here's the Illinois transfer, Reggie Love, trying to cut it back, and Love is swallowed up in the backfield. Love was the leading rusher for the Illini a year ago, and this is a Purdue backfield that utilizes two backs. It was a big get in the transfer portal for Ryan Walters.
Yeah, they needed some depth right there. You saw Garrett Olendike as well for the Indiana State Sycamores attack the line of scrimmage and get a tackle for loss on Lev, who's usually not stymied behind the line of scrimmage.
Card on play action, flips it out into the flat, and Jerron Tibbs has the first down. These quick hitters on offense here working for Card of the Boilermaker offense.
The quick hitters only work if you block on the edge. The receiver is doing a phenomenal job of blocking on the edge, and that turns a 2-yard play into a 13-yard play when you come block as a receiver on the edge. Tremendous job by this Boilermaker receiving corps.
Ron Tibbs, a sophomore out of Indianapolis Cathedral. They go back to play action, and Card's going to let it rip. He's going downfield for Edrin, and just a step in front of him. He had his receiver out there and just missed a second Purdue touchdown.
Well, great protection by the offensive line. What a pocket for him to step up in. You'll see Trey King, who's on the coverage here for Indiana State, and just a little long for Edrin, and Card knows he missed that one. Right now, Edrin's a big guy, 6'3", 250, not a burner, good speed, not great speed, and just let him a little bit too much on the post route.
Now the shotgun on second down and 10. Card stepping up in the pocket, showing off the wheels, and connects upfield. It's Denylon Morissette with the reception, and he's inside the Indiana State 40.
It's not just his ability to run and pick up a first down. It's his ability to run when the pocket breaks down, get outside the pocket, and then have a strike for 20 yards down the field to Morissette.
Card just gets it away to Reggie Love, who finds a seam along the right side. Love picks up 6 on first down.
Good read by Olendike, the middle linebacker, leading tackle for Indiana State. He read the GT power, GT counter. That's the guard tackle counter. They're going to pull guards and tackles to gain a man. And it almost broke if Olendike had read puller on that.
That's Maccabee back in the backfield with Hudson Card. And he goes the direction of his junior. Maccabee on a cutback, and he's near the sticks. We'll see where they mark him. Like he's about a yard short.
And they'll hurry up. Look for them to go to Maccabee again.
This time Hard will keep it and flip it to Bibber, who lost the football, and it's still on the deck, and Indiana State comes down with it. They'll call it a fumble on the field, and a turnover for the Sycamores.
Boy, that is exactly what Indiana State needed. Kind of backs against the wall, reeling Bibber. Great play called by Graham Harrell. With a little play action to Maccabee, throws it to Bibber. Bibber's in space, gets hit, the ball's on the ground. Olendike scoops it up, 1st and 10 for the Sycamores.
Big Ten Network College Football is sponsored by Taco Bell. West Lafayette, Indiana, on the campus of Purdue University, where it's hot. Ryan Walters going with the t-shirt look here on opening day of college football. And Ples Lawrence straight forward and no hole for the Sycamore running back. Let's take a look at our impact players, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple beautiful human sense.
And speaking of Ples Lawrence, a guy that was dynamic out of the backfield for Indiana State last year, they'll look to get him the ball early and often like they've done. Of course, Dylan Thieneman, the all-star freshman phenom, 106 tackles and 6 INTs, and Will Helt, we've seen him early in action. They believe he can be a great outside linebacker with a lot of production.
2 drives, 1 first down for the Sycamores. It's back on the ground to Lawrence, and he is a speedster, nearly able to break it along the right side. It's a pickup of 10 on first down for the sophomore out of Kokomo.
Well, they went unbalanced left and then pulled the guard back to the right. And then without KJ Jenkins, Kadrian Jenkins, they call him KJ, making that play from his middle linebacker position, Ples Lawrence might still be running. Jenkins, 250 pounds, played on the edge last year. They believe he could be an NFL middle linebacker with his size and instincts.
Lawrence really came on late a year ago at Indiana State. Same 2 with their quarterback Owens. This time a little too hot to handle out of the backfield. Lawrence was second in rushing yards a year ago on Indiana State, but had a game of over 200 yards late in the season, and it kind of made Kirk Mallory and Mike Bath rethink things a little bit. Justin Dinka was the head tailback for most of the season at Indiana State. They say Lawrence is really bulked up and he's ready for the wear and tear of a full college football season. Rochelle in motion. They'll give it to him, and Rochelle with nowhere to go, trying to cut it back, and it's a loss of 5 on second down. And it was Kendrick Breedlove making the tackle in the backfield.
Breedlove gets the payoff, but DeMarja Lewis was the man who actually got the contain. Watch Lewis right here fight off a block. Now doesn't make the tackle, but makes Rochelle bubble. Breedlove's there to clean it up, and now it's a 3rd and long, and you can expect the crowd to get into it. And a little heat up on the pressure side here from Purdue.
Mike Bath not wanting to put his redshirt freshman quarterback in too many positions like this, and it's 3rd and 15, and so they'll just keep it on the ground. Some nice work there by Shane Butler Lawson. He needed 15, got about 9 of them. At a 4th down and 6, it was Teron Grant, the freshman cornerback. And look at his direction a lot here today. He was a prize acquisition in the offseason, a 5-star defensive back, reclassified 2025 to 24. The Boilermakers get the stop win necessary. Harry Traum out for his 3rd visit here in the first quarter. And they didn't get that one snapped in time, so 5-yard penalty.
Kicking team, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Yeah, delay a game for Coach Mallory. He's upset about that. There was a late shift by Purdue. It looked like they made some checks to make sure the protection was good. They kept shifting back and forth. I think that delayed the operation of the punt.
You see Purdue, a lot of movement there on the defensive line. And it's the rugby-style kick this time for Traum. Tries to pooch it up there, and it's a good one. Thieneman calls for fair catch at the 24-yard line. Purdue offense has turned it over on their last possession. That's the field for the 3rd time here today. Experience the expanded Big Ten Conference like never before with Big Ten Plus. Stream thousands of non-televised live events across the Big Ten. Plus, enjoy next-day game replays for every Big Ten game. Subscribe right now at BigTenPlus.com. Well, over 100 yards of offense here in the first quarter for the Boilermakers. 1 touchdown to show for it after a fumble on their last possession. And they'll play fake it to Edrin. Some pressure for Cardi. Gets rid of it. Finds Maccabee. But he will be taken down after a pickup of 2 just across the 25.
Love the play design, but good read by Maddox Blackwell. Leading tackler last year for the Sycamores at the safety position. Blackwell gave up a touchdown earlier to Max Blair, trying to redeem himself with that tackle in space against Maccabee.
Blackwell is a junior All Missouri Valley Conference. He's from Bloomington. Three-step drop and a fire and a connection. That's Shamar Rigby, the freshman out of St. Petersburg, a player who really kind of surprised this Purdue staff just how ready he was right away.
Look at that throw, though, by Hudson Card, right from the opposite hash. An out route. That's a 30, 40-yard throw on a rope. That's the kind of arm that can make you make some big plays when you need it. And Rigby, like you said, they went down to watch him a little bit and just catch some balls on there. So I think we got one in Shamar Rigby, and they were correct.
Purdue moving quickly here as Card steps up in the pocket and unleashes wide open. It's Max Clare again. His favorite target of the afternoon comes through for his fourth catch.
Tons of time for Hudson Card, and really Clare works his way all the way across the field, in and out of 2 or 3 zones, and just lays down right across the numbers there and able to get the completion. Max Clare just so gifted as a tight end when it comes to his skill set to catch the football.
It's a 42-yard reception. The Boilermakers are into Indiana State territory for the 3rd time today. Max Clare has had a lot to do with that. Purdue leads by 7 after 1 on Big Ten Network. Well, the Boilermakers have one of the top college football quarterbacks in history now as their offensive coordinator, and Graham Harrell, and Ryan Walters gave him a lot of credit for getting Hudson Card here to West Lafayette, but a name brand offensive coordinator for the quarterback.
I mean, this is air raid royalty right here in Graham Harrell. You can see 4th most passing yards in FBS history and 8 NCAA records. I mean, incredible career for Graham Harrell, and now he's a offensive coordinator sharing the air raid systems with the Boilermakers.
Here's Maccabee on a cutback. And Maccabee to the 21 picks up 2 on first down. Hudson Card 12 of 13 in that first quarter. They feel like maybe his confidence is the area that has stepped up the most here in his senior year. He's hit 7 different receivers. It's Maccabee on the ground again. And that big defensive line of Indiana State doing some work. A pickup of 1. It'll set up 3rd down and 7. Giannini Belizaire, 6'1", 285 senior out of Fort Wayne Snyder on the tackle.
They like him and Jack Sherman in there in the middle to stop stuff. And now you've got 3rd and 7. And Max Clare's got to be the guy you dial up. He's been so dominant, but they're double covering. Looks like Clare. So you go to Edgerrin, probably number 7 at the top of your screen. You see they have the safety over the top of Max Clare. That's Maddox Blackwell. And so look probably to go to 7.
On 3rd down and 7, they'll keep it on the ground, and it's Reggie Love. He's got the first down and more. Shoulders his way inside the 10, and a Boilermaker first down.
Well, it's a great changeup by Graham Harrell. Looks to the sideline. They cue to run here to Reggie Love, and they've got an extra man and good blocking up there. They get the block on Jeff Brown. The safety has to make the play, and they're in business with a fresh set of downs inside the 10.
So much focus on those 7 different targets. But Purdue had the top running game in the Big Ten all of last year, and Reggie Love going to be a pivotal part of that this year. Card on play action, zips it out into the flat. Jerron Tibbs high steps his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Boilers.
Card's decisive here. Quick out by Gibbs, and able to get upfield immediately. Nobody's close enough to make the play. Card knew where he was going from the get-go on that throw, but he's accurate, and they complete the pitch and catch for the 2nd touchdown of the day.
This is a revamped receiving core here for Purdue. Tibbs caught just 5 balls all of last year. The sophomore out of Indianapolis Cathedral. Couple catches here in the first half. And Horath puts the extra point through. So 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns for this Boiler offense. And Jerron Tibbs cashes in from 6 yards out. Couple catches and a touchdown for Jerron Tibbs. The Boilermakers lead by 14 here early 2nd quarter. The scoring drive is presented by Marathon. Let's take a look. 7 plays, 76 yards, and that 43-yard pass and catch to Clare really set up the drive.
Yeah, Clare is just dynamic receiver out of the tight end position.
Here is Rashad Rochelle spinning his way across the 20. And the Indiana State offense will start here at the 22-yard line. Jay, if you're the Sycamores, how do you try to combat some of the size and physicality differences?
Boy, it's hard. You try to work an edge. You try to get out in space. You try to make a play. And you try to keep the ball out of Hudson Card's hands. So if you get a couple first downs, run some clock, let your defense get off the field. They've been running all over the place. They did force a turnover, but you got to get some first downs. They've had some success running the football. Can they put 2, 3, 4 first downs to flip the field a bit here?
Sycamores with a pair of first downs on their opening 3 possessions. Elijah Owens, 1 of 3, throwing the football here so far in the first half. The handoff to Butler Lawson, who tries the right side and runs into a wall. That big Purdue defensive line, Cole Brevard. Joe Anderson is out today, but they've got a lot of depth up front.
You know, Brevard's their stalwart in there, along with Emba and some other players. But I'll tell you what, if you can make a guy cut in the backfield before he gets to the line of scrimmage, it's usually going to be a no gain. We saw that right there with Butler Lawson, a big man, right? Shouldn't be cutting in the backfield, but it's because Brevard got so much penetration at the point of attack.
It's a defensive unit that has been revamped by transfer. The Boilers a consensus top 10 transfer class here in 2024. This time it's Butler Lawson on the left side, and same result. Runs right into a wall of Boilermakers.
Will help. So good playing, disciplined on the backside. He stays square. What I mean by that, he stays square just in case that running back cuts back. And that's exactly what Butler Lawson did, cut right back into Will Help. And they do run a little clock with 2 run plays, but then you're in a 3rd and 10 situation for your freshman quarterback, Elijah Owens. The crowd gets into it. You've got to protect Owens in this situation.
And some late substitutions here for Indiana State. And Kurt Mallory has to take a timeout to get reorganized here. Kurt Mallory in his 8th season at the helm of Indiana State. Over in 2017.
Had a great run in 2018, 2019. They won 17 games in a 3-year stretch, something that really hadn't been done for the Indiana State Sycamores. This is a guy that lives and breathes football, and these guys are well coached fundamentally. They play in the Missouri Valley Conference, one of the best conference in the FCS division. And to coach anywhere for 8 years, you have to do something right in college football.
They were just 1-10 last year, but they dealt with all sorts of injuries. Never really got off on the right foot. Played 4 different quarterbacks. It's Elijah Owens who has emerged from that group. Purdue showing blitz on 3rd down and 10. Owens with time to throw, hit as he throws, lofts it up there, and they couldn't haul it in. It was a pretty good ball there by the quarterback. And Botros Alessandro with the coverage.
And you see Alessandro come up, get a little contact right before the ball got there. Now in slow-mo it looks worse than it is. They could have called him on that. Nevertheless, the 3rd down stop. Owens now only 1 for 3 for 3 yards.
They were looking the direction of their junior Rutgers transfer, Rashad Rochelle. Will be a major impact player here for the Sycamores. Has gone his way a few times today. 4th trip for Harry Traub. And Thieneman awaits, makes the fair catch at the 43-yard line. So good field position for the Purdue Boilermakers after a 35-yard punt. Purdue leading by 14 here early 2nd quarter from West Lafayette. Coming up on Tuesday, it's a can't-miss top 10 women's volleyball matchup when Penn State takes on Louisville. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and Fox Sports app. 5 of the top 10 volleyball teams in the country call Big Ten home. And The Purdue Boilermakers with a 2-touchdown lead here, second quarter. It's a delay to Maccabee, and he's got all sorts of open field. Maccabee at the 25, plowing over defenders.
Boy, I love that play design. They run the draw at midfield, and it opened up like the Red Sea for Maccabee. Had all kinds of green grass. They have a hat on a hat here. You see Olendijk try to come back out of pass coverage, but Gus Hartwood, 53, the center, the veteran, made the big block to spring Maccabee into the open field.
It's a 37-yard run. They look his direction again, and Maccabee with more space to roam. Maccabee, those hard-charging legs inside the 10. Talk about his motor. Those legs really never stop moving, and he's a former walk-on, played his first ever game here against Indiana State 2 years ago. Ryan Walters' first move was to give him a scholarship. And he's been Purdue's leading rusher each of the last 2 years.
The pride of Boonville, Indiana. They call him Crazy Legs for his running style. But he's very productive.
Loving for him here. Card looks to throw. Card with all day. Going end zone, and he's got a man wide open for the touchdown. It's Purdue's third of the first half. And Armand Branch, the redshirt freshman, has his first career score.
A mix-up in coverage. You'll see Branch just left alone in the corner of the end zone. As there was a mix-up in coverage, everybody went below. I believe it was on Tibbs, below the receiver at the goal line.
And that was Denylon Morissette, the sophomore out of Stone Mountain, Missouri. Purdue's got 9 or 10 guys that they'll throw out there at wide receiver. And Purdue with a delay of game here on the extra point.
They got so many weapons. He spread the ball all over the field. You can see that Hudson Card's truly reading the offense, right? Truly reading who's open, who's not. He's not picking beforehand where he's going. Morissette was the guy there.
I'll move the extra point 5 yards back here for the freshman. And no problem for Spencer Porath. 3 plays, 57 yards. Denylon Morissette, his first touchdown of the season. Still to come, Northwestern squares off with Miami University. And Indiana faces Florida International. Then number 3, Oregon battles Idaho, followed by Washington against Weber State. It's all ahead on the Big Ten Network and Fox Sports app. Full day here of football on the opening weekend of Big Ten action. And here is Rochelle from the 2. And he's taken down right at the 15, nowhere to go. And the Sycamores will start inside their own 20. We are welcoming in 4 new schools here to the Big Ten. All out west, Oregon, UCLA, Washington, and USC.
I just love we have Big Ten after dark, right? We got Weber State and Washington at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. Great color combinations as well. They're all a little bit different than the current color combinations we have in the Big Ten. So we run from coast to coast and the full gamut on the color spectrum. They got it all in the Big Ten.
It basically means you start with the 12 o'clock game and then you just keep it on Big Ten Network or Fox throughout the day.
It sounds like it's literally 12, 13 hours of football straight, which I can't think of many things better than that.
Elijah Owens on play action, has time. Now it breaks down, and Owens using his legs. Owens has the first down. He can run with it. 67 rushing yards in his 4 starts a year ago. Picks up 11 on first down.
Yeah, max protection there on a 2-man route. Tried to give him time, and they lost contain on the back end. Will Held had to run him down. One of the few errors we've seen from this Purdue defense. Very, very stingy defensively.
Sycamores just 47 yards of total offense. Nearly all of that on the ground. They'll go I formation here for the first time today. A little power football with Ples Lawrence, and Lawrence able to squeak away from it. Thieneman quickly there to fill the hole. Lawrence gets 7 on first down.
Ples Lawrence, he doesn't need much of a hole as Thieneman came down from his safety position to clean it up. But they're able to get a little bit of push here on the power play. Good blocking up front. Big number 65 with a great block up there up front. Griffin Comer, the left guard, at the point of attack, working on that Purdue D-line.
Boilers showing blitz on 2nd down and 4, and it's Lawrence hit at the line of scrimmage, able to fall forward for a yard.
Yeah, I love Antonio Stevens. Antonio Stevens plays that strong safety position outside of Thieneman by the line. You see he attacks right here, and watch him strike and run his legs, and help comes to clean it up as well. Good form tackle, head up, eyes up, run your legs. That strong safety position plays a lot like a linebacker in this Ryan Walters, Kevin Kane defense.
Sycamores have been in 3rd down and long for most of the afternoon. This manageable here for Kurt Mallory's group. 3rd down and 3. Rochelle in motion, they'll fake it to him, a little misdirection, they just get rid of it. And Ples Lawrence couldn't handle it. A late penalty flag does come down in the backfield. There was some contact on Elijah Owens.
Yeah, it looked like Jeffrey Imba was there late. Let's see what the call is. Maybe it was Sheeta Sella, number 17. I think they got on the call here. Well, that's a tough call. He gets his arms up, and it might be the driving to the ground. Man, I think Sella's just playing hard. I really do. I think Sella's playing hard there. I think Ryan Walters is fired up about that call. They're going to protect the quarterback, but that was a tough call for any kind of defender.
So the Sycamores encroaching Purdue territory here for the first time today. They send Chambers in motion. And give it to Lawrence around the right side. He looks for a hole, and nothing develops. C.J. Madden, the transfer out of Georgia. He won a national championship. Now joins the Boilers here in the linebacking core.
Along with Antonio Stevens, again, plays that strong safety position, plays a lot like a backer in this defense. And if you're Kurt Mallory, you just want to string together some more first downs, get some points on the board. Elijah Owens has been good when he runs the football. I'd look for some design quarterback runs to try to make it a 3rd and manageable.
7 carries for 21 yards here for Ples Lawrence. This is Butler Lawson who cuts back. Lawson finds a seam and has the first down.
Nifty for the big man, Pat, right? Usually he's a straight up and down player for Butler Lawson is, but you see him put his foot in the ground and make a cut here on the Purdue defense as Kadron Jenkins gets his ankles broke a little bit there by the big man. Kadron Jenkins for the first time playing middle linebacker, not on the edge. You have to make a few more tackles in space. Took an angle where he didn't attack the near hip of the football, allowed the cutback for Butler Lawson.
Here's Butler Lawson again, and this time swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Well, Butler Lawson ran for over 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns for the D2 Powers Minnesota State Mankato. And is a little bit of the thunder to the Thunder and Lightning backfield for the Sycamores.
He'll wear you out now. He's a big body, 225, will take some blows on you. So far, he's been stymied thus far other than that last run.
Four receivers set on 2nd down and 11. It's a low snap, and he had Rochelle over the middle. Just couldn't find him.
Those are the plays you have to make if you're Indiana State. Rochelle beat his guy inside, beat the man coverage to the inside. It was a low snap, wasn't a great ball, but those are the catches you have to make. There's been 3 drops early, and that's not going to help you if you're Indiana State when you're trying to string together a drive.
Is that more on the quarterback or the receiver?
I think that was both. In his hands, he's to catch it. He definitely wouldn't have been able to catch and run, though.
Ninth play of the Sycamore drive. Owens, as that pocket collapses, able to evade it. But he can't shake Jenkins. And Owens goes down, sacked in the backfield. And now 4th down for the Sycamores. And Harry Traum will trot his way back onto the field.
Well, we gave Kadron Jenkins a little bit of grief, but watch him attack the near hip and settle down and make a tackle in space on Elijah Owens. He learned from the play before on Butler Lawson. Very instinctive in his middle linebacker position. He has a future in the NFL, the coaches believe, because of his size and instincts.
Really good coverage there by the Purdue defensive backfield, too, as Owens had some time to throw. Never got separation. Another high snap, and Traum does an excellent job to come down with it. And Thieneman will let the sidewinder bounce into the end zone for a Boilermaker touchback. Purdue has 3 touchdowns on their 4 drives here so far. They head back onto the field. Late second quarter, we return. Back here in West Lafayette, where Hudson Card has been dialed in here in the early going. 14 for 15 here from the pocket and 3 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, Max Clare early, and he hit Tibbs. And hit Morissette later. As you can see, Reggie Love with the run. But he's been an equal opportunity quarterback. And he's played all the right cards today.
Garrett Olendijk on the tackle for Indiana State. Preseason FCS All-American Olendijk. He is the leader of that Sycamore defense.
And he's a tough kid, man, out of junior college in Iowa. Plays great for the Sycamore D.
Quick trigger out to Shamar Rigby for a pickup of 5 on 2nd down. And the Boilermakers looking at 3rd down and 4. Tony Roberts with the tackle.
Playing with some tempo right now. We've seen them slow it down. We've seen them play with tempo, and on 3rd down, they've elected to run the football, but you always got to watch out for Max Clare. But they're stacking a safety and a linebacker on Max Clare.
They haven't hesitated to run here. This time through the air as Card surveys his options. Has time to throw. Gonna use his legs, and Card dives for the 1st down.
Good play by Garrett Olendijk to try to get him on the ground. But Hudson Card, an underrated athlete. Not sure you want to see him jumping up in the air against Indiana State in week 1, knowing some of the health issues that he had mid-season last year, but shows you that he's willing to lay it on the line for his football team.
Card all day to throw, launches downfield, and a leaping grab made by Jamal Edrin. It's a pickup of 23. There is a flag down in the backfield. We'll see if this play stands.
Watch the left tackler, Joshua Sales, 74. Slings him down with a little WWE move. He's in for the injured Corey Stewart. And it's really the first penalty we've seen from the Purdue side, and it's a costly one, erasing a big play to Edrin down the field on a strike from Card.
Boilermakers have been disciplined here in the 1st half. Now on 1st down and 20, he's got his back out of the backfield, Maccabee. Makes one man miss, but is taken down by Maddox Blackwell, the safety.
And they had Olendijk on Maccabee in space. Olendijk not able to wrap up, but Blackwell cleans it up. Screen and draw down here on 2nd and long. That's always the alert if you're on defense. It's a screen and draw down. Last time they ran draw to Maccabee, it was a big run.
4 receivers on 2nd and 17, and Card again with all day to throw. He's got Clare downfield. Another penalty flag in the backfield. We'll see if this one sticks. But for now, it's a pickup of 28. And a little deja vu.
So we had the left tackle last time. Now we go to the right tackle here. And you'll see Marcus Bowe working on the defensive end. And, I'm not sure I think that's a hold. It looks like he just swallowed up the defensive end on that side. And he might have pulled him down a little bit, but I'm not sure Ryan Walters agrees with the call. I'm probably sure Ryan Walters doesn't agree with the call, but now it's a second and forever. And this actually might be the screen and draw down to get him back into it.
It's 2nd and 27 as Carr delivers over the middle. And he's got his tight end, Drew Bibber. Well, they love what these tight ends bring this offense, especially with kind of a revamped on-the-fly receiving core. Blair and Bibber, a lot of experience. They're down in 14. Some movement on that line. Penalty flag is down.
Well, usually when they blow it dead, it'll be a false start. I didn't see much movement on the offensive line. It's hard to hear the referee with his mic. But man, I don't see a ton of movement. I think they called it on, was it 55? See, I don't see that. You can react as an offensive player if it's immediate from the defensive player on Wingfield. You can react immediately, so I don't necessarily see that as a false start, and we're already at the 2-minute timeout.
This is new to college football, the 2-minute timeouts. Purdue leading by 21, 3rd and long coming up when we return on Big Ten Network. Coming up, stick around for the halftime report, sponsored by Defender, Rick Pizzo, Jerry DiNardo, Howard Griffith. They're standing by in our Chicago studios. Plenty of positives to talk about in the first half for Purdue. Except they have lost some of their discipline here on this drive just before halftime. 6 penalties on the day. 3 of them have come on this drive. And it's 3rd down and 20 here for Purdue. Card on a delay. It's Devin Maccabee. And Maccabee is tripped up after a pickup of 4. He needed a lot more than that. So we'll see the punting unit come out for the first time here for Purdue.
Yeah, Maccabee smung. So it was a Garrett Olendijk, 35, the middle linebacker, able just to barely get his ankle and make the 3rd down stop in space to force the first punt of the day for Purdue. Timeout Indiana State, trying to reserve some clock for a 2-minute drive.
How much of this is week 1? You're still trying to figure everything out, a bunch of different teammates.
As far as that drive, there are 2 calls I'm not sure about. Number 1, the second holding call on Bowe, and obviously Wingfield got caught on the false start, which I believe is questionable, but it's some of that. First week, there's always going to be some mistakes. Up until that point, they had played extremely clean football. Other than the turnover, that's really the big mistake we've seen from Purdue.
Keelan Crimmins, the Mississippi State transfer, back to punt here for the first time this afternoon for the Boilermakers. Crimmins with a sidewinder. That's headed out of bounds. Right around that 25-yard line. 1:46 remaining until halftime with Purdue leading at home by 3 touchdowns. Just 64 yards of total offense. No points on the board here for this Indiana State offense as we near halftime. Really all that damage has come on the ground.
See the unbalanced set here. Last time they did this, they ran back to the other side with the power play.
Les Lawrence, who's hit as he took the snap, but able to shake off a defender. Then Lawrence is dropped. Kydron Jenkins makes the tackle. And a 2-yard loss into a 2-yard gain.
Same play as before. Will Helt knew it was coming. Will Helt just missed Lawrence in the backfield as Lawrence was able to break the tackle. Jenkins able to clean him up, though, from the Mike linebacker position. He's been active thus far today. He's going to be a good football player in the Big Ten for this Boilermaker defense.
Rochelle in motion. The give back right side to Lawrence on a cutback. And there might have been a face mask in there. Kind of an awkward landing there for Ples Lawrence.
They discuss it. We've talked a lot about Jenkins making plays. So we'll see a face mask here. Looked like Imba might have actually grabbed him with his right hand on the face mask. A good call as it contributed to the tackle. Certainly didn't intentionally do that. We're talking about Kadron Jenkins. Yanni Karlaftis we haven't seen because he had a targeting penalty in the last game of the season, but he's a player you're going to see at the linebacker position a lot for the Boilermakers, not only the second half, but in the season as well.
Well, final minute here, first half, as Indiana State looks to find some momentum here before halftime. Haven't had much of it here in the first half. And a bubble screen out in the flat to Xavion Taylor, redshirt junior out of Justin, Texas. Third down rapidly approaching here. That clock continues to move.
Just one timeout left for the Sycamores here.
Owens with time to throw all day on third down, and on a crossing route he's got Rochelle. Big hit on the sidelines, but it's a first down for the Sycamores.
Great patience here by Elijah Owens. Watch him roll out here and find Rochelle. Rochelle, man, takes a shot by Teron Grant. Teron Grant, highly touted recruit out of South Carolina. Won a recruiting battle against Tennessee for him. Talked to Ryan Walters about. Ryan Walters said, hey, we were able to win a recruiting battle because the cornerbacks coach Sam Carter has relationship. There's a player down on the field. I believe that's 34 DeMarja Lewis. Hard to tell.
It is DeMarja Lewis. We'll take a short break here from West Lafayette. DeMarja Lewis was hurt early last season, never really got his year going, so good to see him walking off there on his own power here, Jay. 22 seconds left. What are you looking to see if you're Indiana State?
You want to get points on the board. Talking to Kurt Mallory, says they're good from 53 to kick a field goal. That means you got to get 11 yards to the 35-yard line at least. You have one timeout. You have at least 3 or 4 plays in the mix if you can play your cards right.
They're into Purdue territory here for the first time today. Pressure coming from Purdue. Owens steps up and has all sorts of open field ahead. Owens inside the 30, using his legs to the 25. And the quarterback Scamper has them in field goal range with 15 seconds left.
He could be close to a leading rusher this first half. When stuff is breaking down, it's been Elijah Owens. There's pressure. Good pick up by Ples Lawrence on Kadron Jenkins. And you can see Owens able to run before being pushed out by Kendrick Breedlove.
It's a 20-yard run for Owens, and he is the leading rusher for Indiana State. 40 yards in the first half.
You want to take a shot at the end zone without giving up a pick.
And Owens will take that shot. Looking for Rochelle, and he just missed him. Oh, 6 was there.
When they had the defense that they wanted, you saw Dylan Thieneman creep out up to the line of scrimmage, which left one-on-one coverage, and he had him. Rochelle, the speedster, unable to run under it. Stevens was beat on the play. I mean, you just don't get many chances like that at the end of a half to take a shot in the end zone to your best receiver against a Power 4 opponent like that and get you back in this football game before the end of half.
You can already see how much Indiana State values Rashad Rochelle. They're using him everywhere, going to him as much as possible. Boilermaker blitz on 2nd down and 10. Owens keeps it, but is taken down in the backfield. So a loss of 1. Indiana State will use that final timeout. It was Shatice Salah on the tackle.
Good 2-minute drill by Kurt Mallory and his offensive coordinator, Mike Bath. Really, that play was to center the football and knock out, get a yard or two, center the football for this kicker to make it it's about 44-yard kick, maybe 45-yard kick.
It's Sebastian Lopez, a redshirt freshman out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Kurt Mallory says he's good up to 53. He's going to be tested here from 45. Harry Traum will hold. And he just missed it wide left.
Now, disappointing if you're an Indiana State fan and that defense bowed up in the 2-minute drill. They weren't able to convert on the deep pass and get any points on the board, and they'll have to regroup at halftime.
Well, it's halftime here in West Lafayette. Our score 21-0 coming up. It's the halftime report, sponsored by Defender. Stick around.
Hudson Card, have yourself a day. This touchdown pass to Max Clare, one of 3 first-half touchdowns. Card, 17 of 18 in the first half. Purdue leads Indiana State 21-0. Welcome inside the Big Ten Live halftime, presented by Land Rover Defender. Rick Pizzo, Jerry DiNardo, Howard Griffith alongside. We talked pregame about Hudson Card and the development that we needed to see from him in year 2 with his Purdue program. I would say, Jerry, 17 of 18 is pretty close to being perfectly developed.
Yeah, no doubt. Consider the competition, obviously. Indiana State's a struggling program. So you're in there at halftime. What do you want to say to your team? They had 60 yards in penalties. Let's cut back on the penalties. They had a turnover. And I would think the other thing, the offensive coaches want to get together and say, hey, let's get Maccabee the ball more. Let's work on the run game. But Card, to your point, Rick, certainly looks good.
And Love. You add Love to that mix, too, in the running back game. That can really improve this team. Yeah, they've gone out and thrown the ball all over the park, done the things that they needed to do, been really efficient on 3rd down, 3 or 5. That's been working for them. So cleaning up some of the other things, or as you mentioned, the penalty will be a big part of what they need to do in the second half.
Defense has always been the calling card for Ryan Walters, made his bones. Obviously, we knew the amazing job he did as the DC at Illinois. This defense locked down. Again, understand level of competition, but Howard, the defense did exactly what you would expect it to do in that first 30 minutes.
Yeah, it did exactly what they needed to. The quarterback got outside of the pocket a couple times, made some runs there, so they have to clean that up as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a real positive halftime, right? Yep. But there's still going to be a list of things that we want to do. Now, some coaches will tell the players exactly what they want to do. Others will say it's none of their business. We'll call the game that we want to call it. Don't tell them we have an agenda.
And don't tell Indiana State that they didn't score any points, because they're probably well aware of that after 30 minutes. It's 21-0 Purdue in West Loft. This one of 4 early window games going on inside the Big Ten. Penn State facing the toughest competition on the road against West Virginia. That's Mountaineer quarterback Garrett Green going for it on 4th and 1, but that Penn State defense stands up strong. Next drive for the Nittany Lions after the turnover on downs. Jerry, Nittany Lion fans love to see Drew Aller throwing it downfield, this time to Trey Wallace.
Yeah, I've been a little critical of him. I mean, he's had a good day. Credit to him. Andy Kolik, he's putting his finger on this offense.
It is 13-3 Penn State late second quarter. Maryland at home against UConn. Billy Edwards gets a start at quarterback, and he finds Ty Felton over the middle. Terps lead 7-0. Next drive to the ground they go. It's Nolan Ray, 48 yards. Locks has to like what he sees so far, Howard.
Absolutely. Make the safety miss in the middle of the field. Does a great job of finishing. Don't get caught from behind. Touchdown.
It is 17-0 Maryland late in the first half. Another game going on here on the Big Ten Network. Iowa taking on Illinois State. What else but Hawkeye defense? Jamari Harris comes up with the pick. Oh, there's one more thing. Special teams. Drew Stevens with the field goal. Only scoring of the game right now so far. It is 3-0 Iowa. They're about to go to the half at Kinnick Stadium. Denylon Morissette, one of the best names, not just in the Big Ten, but in all of college football. One of 7 Purdue receivers with a catch in the first half. Boilers lead it by 3 touchdowns.
The Big Ten Network Halftime Report is sponsored by Defender. The Big Ten Network Halftime Report is sponsored by Defender.
Hope you had a hearty breakfast this morning, maybe some oatmeal, because you need energy to get through the entire day that we bring you here on the network. 2 games at noon, 2 more coming up at 3:30 Eastern, Northwestern and Indiana featured. And then a little bit later throughout the course of the day, the Big Ten debuts of both Oregon and Washington, all right here on the Big Ten Network. Start with Northwestern, an unimaginable run in year 1 with David Braun a year ago, doing things that no one thought possible. Now they try to do it once again with a new quarterback.
Right, and Mike Wright played at Mississippi State, played at Vanderbilt, now he's at Northwestern. The day we were at camp, he was outstanding. I can't wait to see him develop during the season. But, Rick, think about it. 1 year ago, the condition that this Northwestern program was in, David Braun has done an incredible job.
And it's a job that Curt Cignetti would love to emulate during his first season in Bloomington.
Really get an opportunity to see what this team is ultimately going to look like from an offense, defense, and special teams. Rourke at the quarterback position. McCauley, I think, can have a huge year wide receiver.
So there are some questions with both of those programs and how good they can be. There's no questioning how good Ohio State can be, Howard. The only question is, can they get over the finish line and win it all?
Yeah, they have set really the bar as high as it can be. They want to win a national title. That's what it's going to come down to. But this is a veteran team led by their veteran players. If they can do it this year, this will be what they all came back for.
The Buckeyes open up against Akron with K-State transfer quarterback Will Howard under center. And finally, Nebraska, we get to see the much-anticipated debut of uber-talented freshman QB Dylan Raiola.
Right, and Raiola is going to be what they're going to build this program around. I love Matt Rule saying minimum goal this year is a bowl game. And you know what? He's right on. Their roster is equipped to go to a bowl. If they play it right, Raiola is going to be a big part of that.
You know, the rest of Lincoln and everybody inside Memorial Stadium is also saying minimum goal to get back to a bowl game because it has been a minute for the Huskers. We continue on the Big Ten Live halftime presented by Defender right after the break. A pair of Big Ten debuts coming your way later tonight here on the Big Ten Network. Oregon kicks off its 2024 season, ranked number 3 in the preseason poll, and the Ducks will do so at home against Idaho. Washington begins its season and the era of Jed Fish as head coach at 11 Eastern, and that's coming up against Weber State right here on the Big Ten Network.
Today's Big Impact research takes us to West Lafayette, where Purdue astronomers are giving us the clearest look ever into the heart of an exploded star. Danny Milisavljevic uses the James Webb Space Telescope to study the life cycle of stars. He researches how stars form, which determines where planets form in solar systems, and how resources are distributed. Recent photos from the telescope are packed full of data that is changing how students think about stars. Milisavljevic also uses virtual reality to explore stars and to teach Purdue students how to become better astronomers themselves. Back here for the second half of action inside Ross-Ade Stadium. Purdue Boilermakers and Indiana State Sycamores. Week 1 of college football here on the Big Ten Network. And we welcome you back inside the broadcast booth alongside Jay Lehman. I'm Pat Boylan. Well, overall, a lot to like there in the first half if you're Purdue, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Ryan Walters is known as a defensive coach, and so we saw them at all 3 levels. Up front, linebackers, safeties, making plays, and it starts with stopping the run. So physical at the point of attack. Were the Boilermakers. Ples Lawrence couldn't get it going. Elijah Owens unable to step up into the pocket, so it went back to the run game. And then you see Jeffrey Mba, DeMarja Lewis, Will Help up front being disruptive. And then the coverage downfield and the hit by the superstar 5-star cornerback out of South Carolina, Teron Grant.
And the Sycamores under 100 yards of total offense there in the first half. Purdue closing in on 300 yards themselves. Hudson Card had just one incompletion in the first half, and you love to see this here. Second half, student section still fully engaged here at Purdue.
I'll tell you what, the student section used to be a little bit farther over to the left than it currently is as Ryan Walters looks in. And they're one of the more vocal student sections to the opposing bench, because you're right there between Kinnick Stadium and Ross-Ade Stadium. You get a lot of chatter from this fan section. Some of it's quite hilarious, actually.
Second half underway. Sebastian Lopez sends it the other direction. And across the 30 to the 35-yard line, that's where Purdue will open up here with their first possession of the second half. Elijah Jackson on the return. Chance to look at Jackson here on special teams. Well, maybe a little bit of a sour taste in the Boilermakers' mouth there before you hit halftime.
It looked very sharp through about 20-25 minutes of that first half, and then Elk kind of fell apart with penalties on the offensive and defensive side of the football, something they're going to want to clean up. You look at the QB compares, obviously Owens has struggled to throw the football as well, but Hudson Card has been so dynamic. 17 of 18 for a $181 and 3 tutties.
Always good when you have more touchdowns than incompletions, and that will continue here. Bubble screen Jamal Edrin, who makes a man miss, and into Sycamore territory on their opening possession. We saw Purdue target him a lot early in this game. Back to their junior receiver here. First play, third quarter, he goes for 20.
It's almost the exact same play they opened the game with. And you see how he gets vertical right away? Great blocking down the field. Giannini Belisar with the hustle from the defensive tackle position. He's working to make that tackle in space, or Edrin might still be running.
Edrin, his first game played here with the Boilermakers after missing all of last year due to injury, the transfer. And the workhorse, Devin Maccabee, on first down, picks up 4. Maccabee in the first half. He carries for 75 yards. Jeffrey Brown making the tackle for the Sycamores.
So the knock on Maccabee was ball security last year. He gave way to Tyrone Tracy late in the year because he couldn't hold on to the football. If he can hold on to the football, he's a great back.
Play action, and Max Clare out of the backfield, but he's hit as he makes the catch. And Clare's taken back for a loss of 1.
It's a good play by the Sycamore D, battling to make it a 3rd and long. They've had success on that play, on the play action outside.
Jordan Jenkins with the tackle at the cornerback position. An early test here, third quarter for the Boilers. Card to the air on 3rd down and 7. He's got time to throw, but wants to use his legs. Card with the shiftiness. He's got the first down.
We've seen it over and over again. When stuff breaks down on 3rd down and the middle of the field opens up, nothing's open. He's able to step up. Now watch the umpire, that official right there, get in the way of number 9, Jenkins, and unable to make the play.
It's a pickup of 12 on 3rd down for Hudson Card, and it keeps the chains moving here for the Boilermakers. Now on play action, Card unleashes. He's got Edrin again inside the 20.
Just the release and accuracy of Hudson Card. You know, he can't set his feet. He's throwing on the run and hits Edrin on the comeback route, just sitting right there inside the 20-yard line. Just sits down, able to make the catch. They're excited about Edrin being healthy. So productive at Florida Atlantic in 2022. Like we said, out the second practice of the year with a knee injury, non-contact.
Card 3-step drop, looks over the middle and connects right at the 10-yard line.
And it's tough playing against this kind of tempo as a defense. They really move, and they'll line up a lot of times in the same spot and just kind of what they call sugar huddle. They won't really huddle up. They'll just line up and then get going and snap the ball with 20 seconds left on the play clock.
Card now 20 for 21 through the air. Here's Maccabee leaping over a defender. He's about a yard shy of the first down.
You know, with the new helmet-to-helmet communication, not a lot of signaling, right? Because Graham Harrell can talk directly to Hudson Card all the way up to 15 seconds left on the play clock. So he can talk to him until he snaps the football, really, telling him what to look for. Looked like a pre-snap penalty there.
Jay, you would have said this Purdue team's been really disciplined up until about the 5-minute mark of the second quarter, when penalties have really started to become problematic for the Boilers.
Yeah, and they just jump in the gun, getting anxious. There's no need to do that. It takes them from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
Card on 3rd down. Fires it left side. He's got his receiver, who's about a yard short of the sticks. That's Jerron Tibbs, who hauls in his 3rd ball of the day. Ryan Walters says, you bet. Let's keep that offense on the field.
Look for them to hurry up. They got Reggie Love in there as well.
4th down and 1. It is Reggie Love straight forward, and he'll walk into the end zone. The Illinois transfer, his first touchdown with the Boilermakers, and gets a nice ovation here from his new fan base.
Great work up front. You can see him put a foot in the ground and get north and south. It looked like the play was meant to go to the left, but the cutback and the vision from Love lets him waltz into the end zone untouched for his first touchdown as a Purdue Boilermaker.
And Spencer Porath back in for the extra points. He just sneaks that one in. 4 Purdue touchdowns, 4 different players. It's Reggie Love with his first in his time with Purdue. Nine plays, 66 yards, and welcome to West Lafayette. Reggie Love, who caps it off with a touchdown. It's Purdue's largest drive of the afternoon. And Boilermakers have gone up 28-0 here early 3rd quarter. Freehill has been a busy man back there today. And Rochelle will watch it go over his head. Let's go down on the sidelines with Jordan Robinson.
Hey guys, so I was able to catch up with Coach Walters heading into the locker room, and he said they just need to clean up these penalties, clean up these open tackles, but overall he likes their energy and how they're playing, and most importantly he likes that they're winning. Then I got to talk to Coach Mallory over at Indiana State. He said that he wants to play the game full 4 quarters. He wants his whole team to play it all the way through. No adjustments at this time, but just keep playing hard.
Jordan, thank you. And there is Kurt Mallory as his group gets set here for their first offensive possession of the 3rd quarter. It'll start at the 25. Owens fakes it to Lawrence, and Owens around the left side. He's got some room to roam. Pushed out of bounds right at that 1st down marker. And when Owens is neat as his legs, he's shown he's very capable.
Crafty. The player out of Jacksonville, Illinois. Great ball handling there to fool the defense of the Boilermakers, and that's been the most efficient run play for Kurt Mallory and the Sycamores today, is Elijah Owens using his mobility to pick up yet another 1st down.
Purdue has 108 yards of offense. Nearly half of that offense has come from Elijah Owens on the ground. He's got 49 yards rushing. Back to the I formation. Power football. Ples Lawrence right side. And nowhere to go. Did a nice job to push the pile for 2 yards on 1st down. And Yannick Karloftis with the tackle. He did not play in the 1st half. That's a long wait for a 2-quarter suspension. It happened in the IU game end of season last year.
Yeah, Yanni, of course, the brother of Kansas City Chiefs and Purdue great George Karloftis. Yanni had to wait. They carried it over. Finally, he's back on the field and makes a tackle. His 2nd play from scrimmage. He's a productive player. They're going to use him a lot at the linebacker position.
Started 8 games last year. Was 4th on the team in tackles. Karloftis This time it's Sheen, Butler, Lawson, but similar result for Indiana State. In fact, a loss of 2 on 2nd down.
Yeah, they try to bring Rochelle into the backfield and try to get him on the edge. There's just way too much push from Will Helt, Emba, DeMarja Lewis in there, Cole Brevard. They've been stalwarts up front.
Indiana State just 12 yards of passing here on the entire afternoon. They've been in this 3rd down and long situation a lot. Owens is 3 of 8 from the air, and pressure coming. He's lit up in the backfield.
Well, we knew Will Helt would be an impact player. He was our auto owner's insurance impact player. He comes off the edge off your left side here and just destroys the tackle with an inside move using his hands. Owens never saw him. That's a good, clean football hit, right? Pretty much unblocked. Good job keeping his helmet away from the head of Owens. And Kevin Kane lit up like a Christmas tree. When we talked to him about Will Helt, he thinks he can be the next great rush edger. You know, they talk about the cradle quarter. This is the den of defensive ends as well. They have the outside linebacker, which is kind of like a defensive end in this Ryan Walters scheme.
Here's Thieneman, who will work around the right side. Thieneman on a cutback took a big hit. With Joey Shue takes him down right at midfield. Will Helt, they think he's going to have a lot of these over the course of his time at Purdue. With a big sack here early in the 3rd quarter. We're celebrating Fansville, sponsored by Dr. Pepper College Football. It's a Pepper thing. Plenty of tailgating here outside Ross-Ade Stadium, and you get to do so before it starts to get really cold. A humid day to kick off the 2024 Big Ten Saturday season. That's a sold-out student section, by the way. Took all of a day as Reggie Love bouncing off a tackle. They say he stepped out of bounds at the 44. It's a pickup of 6 on 1st down, but you're getting to see a little bit more of Reggie Love, a name that Big Ten fans have gotten used to.
Reggie Love was productive at Illinois, even though he was banged up a lot and played behind Chase Brown in 2022. He's always been productive out of the St. Louis area. Good football player.
It's Love again on a delay, and he's got all sorts of room on the right side. Penalty flag down. For the moment, he's got to pick up a 14, but we'll check on the flag.
Interesting play design. It looked like it was slow-mo on that handoff. They were just kind of waiting if he was going to hand it off or not.
Offense number 7.
That's the receiver out there, Jamal Edrin.
You'll see it here on the bottom of your screen. Edrin's blocking the safety here. The safety is trying to battle off, and it's right there with his right hand, kind of hooks him on the collar. And they're going to call him on that.
No, didn't need to do it either. It looked like
Love was well past him.
Love was beyond him. 2nd down and 7. A clean pocket for Hudson Carter's got all day to throw and delivers over the middle. Leland Smith, the sophomore receiver, with a 16-yard reception.
So much time, so hard to cover for more than 3 or 4 seconds. The coverage just broke down over time as they were unable to get to calls.
Here's where you see Ryan Walters, Graham Harrell going a little bit deeper into their receiving core. 1st down and 10. He'll go up top, and he's got a man out there. Leaping grab made. It's Leland Smith again. Touchdown, Purdue.
Talk about a perfect ball. And Leland Smith goes up and gets it one-on-one on the fade route, high and outside, going against Keenan Hicks from Indiana State. What an effort by Leland Smith to go up and get it from Hudson Card.
And Hudson Card is now 24 of 25. Borat puts the extra point through. And Leland Smith, who just stepped onto the field. First catch for a first down. Second catch, a highlight touchdown. Purdue's up 35. Big Ten Network College Football is sponsored by State Farm and by Auto Owners Insurance. Back here on the campus of Purdue University, where the hometown faithful have been treated to a 35-0 Purdue lead here so far. The Boilermakers have answered the bell here in week number 1. Michelle watches that one go over his head. Indiana State, this offense which has been held scoreless. They did have one field goal attempt just before halftime, miss wide left. But it's been a really complete effort here for Ryan Walters' defense.
Indiana State has played relatively clean football as far as turnovers and penalties. They've just been overpowered at the line of scrimmage in the run game and in protecting Owens when he tries to throw the football downfield.
Owens is 3 of 8 for 12 yards. They've run the ball 27 times to just 8 passes. This is Sheen Butler-Lawson getting the carry here to open up the drive. He's hit in the backfield for a loss of 2. Indiana State just hasn't consistently been able to open up enough holes on the offensive line.
They haven't. DeMarge Lewis has had his way in the interior along with Cole Brevard. They've been physical at the point. They run big there. 290, there's 330, there's 305. They've got some beef in the middle of that defense. And then they, of course, have the outside backers to complement them as well. Will Help being a guy who we've highlighted on the outside.
Second down and 10. It's back to Butler-Lawson, and he's headed backwards again. Purdue starting to get really disruptive here in the backfield. Adrian Jenkins has been everywhere today.
Adrian Jenkins, like we talked about, went from the rush outside linebacker position, had 15.5 tackles for a loss, 7.5 sacks last year. They thought he could be good enough at the middle linebacker position to take away that production on the outside and say, hey, what can he do in the middle? Because they felt like that gives him the best chance to use his skill set.
The whole game plan for Indiana State, take care of the ball, run well, and that'll set up the passing game. But Purdue's rush defense has been on point here today. It's Butler-Lawson again, who picks his way for 2. And a 3-and-out for the Sycamores. And the punting units back onto the field here for Indiana State.
And if you're Indiana State, you know, you got to ask yourself, okay, do I want to continue to run the football and work on what I want to work on, or do I want to get some points on the board right there, 3rd and 12, decided to run the football. I don't know if it was the look they saw or whatnot.
Seventh punt of the day for Harry Traum. And the sidewinder will find Thieneman at the 38. Thieneman on a cutback and is taken down right where he caught it. It's a 40-yard punt with no return. Purdue leads by 35, and the offense heading back on the field. On Tuesday, it's a can't-miss top 10 women's volleyball matchup when Penn State takes on Louisville. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Well, it appears as if Hudson Card's day is done, and a nearly perfect day for Card. He goes 24 of 25, completes 96% of his passes, 4 touchdowns. Here's Ryan Brown, who is a redshirt freshman out of Clarkson, Michigan. He played the Northwestern game a year ago when Hudson Card was injured. And he gives to Maccabee, who charges his way forward to the 45 and picks up 6.
On the Big Ten, at some point, you don't want to use it, but you're going to need a backup quarterback, right? Hudson Card got banged up. Moved across the country backup quarterbacks are so needed, and to get a live rep right now, first game of the season, rather than on the road somewhere else when you're playing one of your Big Ten conference teams in a critical situation, really breaks the ice for Ryan Brown.
Morissette in motion. Brown giving chase. He'll just dump it off. Behind Drew Bibber there. Brown's first pass is incomplete. His dad Jim played in the NFL for 4 years. There's plenty of football lineage in that bloodline. So now looking at a 3rd down and 4. He'll fake the pass, run instead, cut back, and he's got the first down. Needed 4, got 4, and he moves the sticks.
You've seen that quarterback draw on 3rd and mid-range all day. Brown runs it here. Good lead block by the running back, Garrett Olendike, the leading tackler, preseason All-American for the Sycamores, makes the play in space.
4 receiver set. He'll launch it left side. And over the outstretched arms of Shamar Rigby. He's covered well by Tony Roberts. It's an interesting conversation if you're Purdue here, because you've got a bye week next week and then Notre Dame. So how much do you want your regulars to get as many reps as possible before that game? But also, as you pointed out, valuable opportunities for guys like Ryan Brown here.
There's 2 schools of thought. And we'll pick it up after this play here.
Brown gives up the middle. And a pickup of 2 on 2nd down. And now a penalty flag comes in.
Came in late there. And almost felt like it was post-play.
That was Jaheim Merriweather, freshman out of Jackson, Tennessee, on the carry. That is the 9th penalty for 90 yards on Purdue, and it's the one blemish on what otherwise has been a really nice first effort for Ryan Walters' group.
Yeah, denial on Morissette was called on a late hit, and Ryan Walters not happy about that. I want to get back to that question you had, as we see the late shove right there. Oh, yeah, on Maddox Blackwell. Morissette came and hit him late. There's 2 trained schools of thought. One, you want to play your guys into shape, because there's nothing like playing in the game to get in shape. The other one is, man, I got to get some of these reserves some reps.
And there's a quick out. And spinning forward is Jaden Dixon-Veal, his first catch here of the afternoon.
Good to see him out there. He was a guy banged up in training camp, but got a rep right there, live, get a catch early in the season, get him going.
So Purdue sends the punting team out for just the 2nd time today. Always good when that's the case late in the 3rd quarter. Keelan Crimmins, a junior out of Spotswood, Australia. Both of our punters today from Australia. That's becoming a more common trend. This is a good one. They'll let it bounce at the 2 and all the way into the end zone over the head of Rashad Rochelle. And a touchback here for Indiana State after a 54-yard punt from the Aussie. And a look here at the Wendy's upcoming schedule and what we were just talking about. You have to pass this first test, Jay, because everything after this becomes dramatically more difficult.
Yeah, Notre Dame back on the schedule in the non-con top 10 team. But when you get to week 8, you've got a run of 3 out of 4 weeks with Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State all right now in the top 10. One of 2 teams to face, 4 opponents ranked in the AP preseason top 10. Purdue not afraid to play anybody anywhere.
And the other is Florida. They've got a consensus top 10 most difficult schedule, the Boilers. They're taking care of business here on opening day as Owens goes to the air and hits Rochelle, who leaps for the first down. Indiana State likely trying to find new ways to get this Rashad Rochelle going. He is really a prize get. He was at Rutgers for a couple of years. Rochelle, running back turned wide receiver, a lot of athleticism.
And we talked to Kurt Mallory about the portal. It goes both ways. They lost a player or two to Wake Forest and Cincinnati that would have been starters. Rochelle then comes down from the Rutgers at the FBS level to the FCS level, and he's a weapon at this level for the Sycamores.
Oh, Lawrence hit in the backfield, and Will held Johnny on the spot.
Will Helt has been so impressive. You know, the kid from Carmel, Indiana, making some plays for the Boilermakers.
Had a nice little pipeline with the Greyhounds. Colton Brevard is nose tackle. He's from Carmel as well. Winston Berglund, one of the linebackers.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're an alumni.
I am.
And isn't it like the biggest high school in the state of Indiana? There's 4,000 or 5,000 kids, right?
It is.
They should have one or two football.
What are you getting at?
We're not knocking on them. We just think they should have a couple football players. They did a great program there in Carmel.
Just saying it's a good pipeline to have. As Owens scrambles out of the pocket, throws upfield, and puts it right on the money. What a pass there by Owens. And a first down for Indiana State. Matt Ross hauls it in.
So one official called it a catch. The other official said it wasn't a catch. And so there's a discussion right now between Kurt Mallory and the officials. We'll take a second look at this right here.
That is just a terrific throw. And
it's hard to see where he gets control, but his left toe is down before his knee. And it sure looked like his left toe was down. It's Matt Ross, the receiver for Indiana State.
Well, if it holds, it's a 22-yard catch, although I should say if it's overturned, it's a 22-yard catch. Call on the field incomplete. You got a good look there from behind the end zone, and it looks like his left foot gets in bounds first as he completed the process of the catch by the time that happened. And a look at the brand new state-of-the-art replay center in Rosemont, Illinois, where they are going to help facilitate and make these calls in the Big Ten this year.
I mean, look at that. That's a great place just to watch a football game, right? I mean, you can chill there with your buddies and snacks. Now, you have the pressure of making sure you get these reviews right? So it's not all fun and games, but man, what a facility they got there. And we look here, see, his left knee's going to be out, but it looks like he drags his left toe. And in college football, obviously, you only need one. And you can see the sideline official here says incomplete, but I'm not sure if they're able to see if he has control.
Mike, what do you see here? Let's check in with our rules expert, Mike Pereira in LA.
Yeah, Pat, and we'll get the announcement here. And that's the good ruling. What you had is you had two different looks by the official. From behind, Lachelle Nelson didn't have a great look at the ball, but coming down the field, the linesman did have the look that you wanted, and he saw that there was control. And like you say, there was a toe drag before the knee came down, and he maintained control of the ball, so that's why they reversed it to a catch, and the right decision.
Mike, thank you. And just a brilliant throw there by Elijah Owens. And you can see these tantalizing qualities, these traits from time to time that, look, he's just a freshman. It's going to take him maybe some time to get him where they need to go. But Elijah Owens, they believe they've got a special one here at quarterback here for Indiana State. And Owens back to the air. Owens stepping up, all sorts of pressure. And does well to get back near the line of scrimmage. That'll take us through the third quarter here from Purdue. Boilermakers add on a couple of touchdowns. Ryan Walters' team in control through 3 from West Lafayette. Well, they're shouting here at Purdue, a 35-0 lead for the Boilermakers. Week number 1, a key week for Purdue to take care of business with Bull hopes here in 2024, and they have done just that here so far. As a sold-out student section, a sold-out Ross-Ade Stadium. Took all of a day to sell the 42,000 season tickets they had allotted. Here at Purdue, you can feel just a palpable, a tangible energy around West Lafayette. Man, in motion on play action. And Owens misses his targets. He had Kyrios open.
And he was wide open. A great play right there. Flag on the field, but he just got too excited with an open receiver and overshot him.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Wouldn't have mattered. Alex Totes called for holding. Sophomore guard out of St. Louis. It's almost like you just need to get Elijah Owens on the run and with like 3 defenders in his face,
right.
And then he's right on the money.
This play is open. Delayed it to the tight end here, and he has got all kinds of green grass. It's almost like he was too wide open for the young buck Owens to settle down and just hit him in the numbers.
Owens is 5 of 10 for 50 yards. His longest completion just before the end of the third quarter. Purdue showing blitz on 2nd and 20. It's back on the ground for Sheen Butler Lawson. Gets swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And Antonio Stevens from that safety position has been all over the field today.
Very active. He reminds me a lot of Sidney Brown, the safety who plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was the safety for that 2022 Illinois team in Ryan Walters. He's in the backfield a lot. He's playing man-to-man coverage on tight ends a lot. See Kurt Mallory asking for the play clock to be reset. Gets his wish.
Third down and 21, and a little play action as Owens just slides to the turf at the 50. Needed 21, got 5. Well, of course, the Mallory name is entrenched in the history books here all over the state of Indiana. Bill Mallory, winningest head coach in IU football history. Kurt's father has had a lot of great moments, a lot of great memories here. Kurt and, of course, Bill playing Purdue Boilermakers.
There's Kurt Mallory as a coach for IU football and his dad.
And Harry Traum gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 7-yard line. Let's go back down onto the field with Jordan Robinson.
Yeah, you guys mentioned it. Coach Kurt Mallory has a long history with the Big Ten Conference. You mentioned his dad, Bill, but Kurt and his 2 brothers, Mike and Doug, played defense for Michigan, where Kurt won 4 Big Ten Conference titles and played in 3 Rose Bowl games. His coaching career started as a grad assistant under his father in Indiana. He then made other Big Ten coaching stops at Michigan and Illinois before taking over as head coach for the Sycamores. Coach said one of his most cherished memories was seeing his dad get his last coaching win against Purdue here in West Lafayette in 1996. So this date is special to the entire family. And Jay, I know you personally go way back with the Mallory family too, right?
I go way back with Kurt Mallory. Mike Mallory, his brother, recruited me out of high school to play at Illinois. And then Kurt Mallory was my defensive coordinator at Illinois in 2007 when we went to the Rose Bowl and had a chance to meet with Kurt Mallory and the Indiana State Sycamores last night, eat team dinner with them and go to some of their meetings. And the culture he's built there and continue to build there, they got brighter things ahead in the Missouri Valley Conference. Kurt Mallory, great coach, but even better person and molder of men. Couldn't be more excited for him and happy that I got a chance to be part of his coaching career.
Brown checks it down to George Burhan. It just feels like there's got to be a Mallory coaching somewhere in the state.
Well, they coach a lot, right? I mean, Kurt Mallory, the youngest of his 2 brothers. Well, Mike Mallory coached a lot. He coached at Illinois and coached at other stops in the Big Ten, including Indiana. Doug Mallory at one time, the other brother was a defensive coordinator at IU, so they've been all over the place. And of course, Bill Mallory, a legend in the coaching profession.
Nice throw there from Ryan Brown. He hits Jaden Dixon-Veal for the first down. Pick up of 14 on third down, moves the chains here for the Boilers.
Ryan Brown settling in a little bit from that first drive, getting his front foot down. So many times you're excited as a quarterback, you don't get your front foot down, you airmail a couple balls. That's what he did in the first drive. He's looked accurate thus far in the second drive.
Brown on the ground. And a pickup of 2 on first down for Reggie Love.
It's so interesting that this football team, Pat, ran more times than not last year, almost 50-50. And this is an air raid offense. We asked Graham Harrell, hey, you know, is that what you foresaw? He goes, probably didn't see it, but it's what worked out. Great cut.
Oh, big cut back. Reggie Love turns on the Jets. Touchdown, Elijah Jackson. They open up a big hole, and Jackson turns it into 6. It's a 69-yard run for the Boilermaker redshirt freshman.
Look at this cutback right here over pursuit. And there's nobody there in the cutback lane. And Jackson has the speed to take it the distance against this Sycamore D.
Well, we start to see Purdue go deeper into their rotation. Jackson, who had just stepped onto the field a moment ago. 4-string running back. Going off the wheels. Moran, his 7th extra points. Boilers lead by 42. The final drive recaps the entire day around the conference tonight after football, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. It is a 42-0 lead for the Boilermakers, who have had a complete effort here in week number 1. Not to high five about here in West Lafayette. And Rochelle will just call for the fair catch this time for Indiana State. Early 4th quarter, West Lafayette on the Big Ten Network. Coming up, Northwestern takes on Miami University, and Indiana faces Florida International, and number 3 Oregon battles Idaho and Washington. Clashes with Weber State. It's all still to come today on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Go to btn.com/gamefinder for channel locations in your area. Just over 11 minutes left to play here from Purdue. And a quarterback change in for the Sycamores. Anthony Garzalini. Hands off on first down. Garzalini, a redshirt sophomore out of Terre Haute. He has not taken a snap with the Sycamores until right now. Here's a look at Garzalini at South Vermilion High School.
Had some tremendous production. 7,500 yards, 77 TDs. Also can run a little bit, it looks like.
Indiana State going deeper into their bench here. Carson Dunn is the redshirt freshman running back. Back to the line of scrimmage. Indiana State quickly looking at a 3rd down.
Purdue as well, getting some of their subs in to get them some valuable reps and build that depth for this Boilermaker D. Lots of injuries last year. Can they stay healthy? Up front and on the back end, very, very talented, but not as deep as some other programs. And so Last year, the injury bug hit early in the season. Can they prevent that this year?
They'll stay on the ground on 3rd down and 8, and a couple more here for Indiana State, a pickup of 2. But another 3 and outs. It's Carson Dunn again on the carry. And Winston Berglund, the redshirt freshman linebacker, in on the tackle for the Boilers.
And aside from the penalties today, Ryan Walters has got to be pleased from what he's seen from his offense and defense. Hudson Card looked as sharp as we've ever seen him throwing the football. Had all kinds of time with that offensive line bringing protection.
And Harry Traum back to the rugby-style kick. This is Andrew Sawinski back there to return the punt. And Sawinski across the 35. A return of 11 yards for the Boilermakers. Just under 9 minutes left to play here from Purdue. Well, the Boilermakers led the Big Ten in rushing a year ago. A couple new faces in there. Reggie Love, the transfer. Elijah Jackson, maybe making his way into the rotation here this year. That ground attack is deep. It's been really effective today.
Well, Maccabee, we know what he can do in this offense, but Reggie Love, what a pickup. As you can see Reggie right there, out of the portal, transferred from Illinois. Huge depth piece for the Boilermakers. Elijah Jackson showed a burst and an ability to get upfield and break away.
I guarantee you that caught some coaches' eyes there. That second gear that he hit Elijah Jackson on that 69-yard touchdown run on their last possession. She loved the Boilermakers, and Big Ten fans know what he can do after his season a year ago at Illinois. Led the Illini in rushing. And on the play action, Ryan Brown scampers for the first down and into Indiana State territory. Pickup of 8 on the ground for the redshirt freshman. Again, Hudson Card, a nearly perfect afternoon. Completed 96% of his passes.
Is that good?
4 touchdowns, 1 incompletion. Back on the ground here. Here's Brown with daylight ahead. Brown breaks a tackle, still on his feet on the sideline. There is a penalty flag down back at midfield.
It looked like in the area of holding, as this one will come back as Ryan Brown doing his best impression.
Offensive number 54. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That is the 10th penalty here for 100 yards for Purdue. So if you're Ryan Walters, you're probably very happy with the effort as we get another look here at that hold.
Luke Griffin in the middle of your screen right there. And, you know, he does have his hand on the outside of the jersey, but does let it go. You know, as a defender, I always like to call holding every play, but yeah, to be non-biased, that wasn't the worst hold I've ever seen by Luke Griffin. There's been a couple calls I think that Ryan Walters would say, not too happy about or had some questions about.
Certainly gives them something to work on here as they head into an early bye week. Play action, and it's Sawinski. Picks up 10 on 2nd and 20.
One thing I like what Graham Harrell does offensively is he really gets the defense running sideline to sideline early in a drive, and that wears out a defense. Then he'll come back and take a vertical shot or a drag route to Max Clare across the middle, mixed in with a little Maccabee and Love. He's always got a different card to play in this offense.
Or receiver set, 2nd down and 8. They're going up top, and it's hauled in. Armand Branch was the inbounds. They'll call it a catch. Oh, now they're going to bring it back. There's a penalty flag down. How often have we seen this for Purdue? A big play and some laundry on the field.
Great concentration from Branch, working on Hicks, the corner.
There are 2 fouls in the offense. Ineligible downfield. Offense number 75. Holding offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, Lou Griffin again on the hold, and then a lineman downfield.
Jalen Grant, the backup center.
Is it 54? I think it was Luke Griffin who they called that play on. And that was the holding. Ryan Walters can't be happy with his second team. Racking up penalties, taking away big plays.
So now it's 2nd down and 18. Brown with time to throw, and this one is dropped. Drew Bibber, tight end who caught a couple of balls early in this game, as that one slipped through his hands.
He's been pretty sure-handed, other than the fumble early in the football game. They've got some depth behind Max Clare at tight end.
It's 3rd and 18. Indiana State showing pressure, and they will get to him. Dallas Westhoff, the sophomore linebacker, coming around the end and getting the Sycamores' first sack of the day.
And if you're Purdue, you got to be happy with what you saw your first team do. Your second team struggles a little bit to move the football, only because of penalties. They had some big plays. Throw to Branch, the run from Brown.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 16-yard line. It's the Rutgers transfer, Rashad Rochelle. Still to come, Northwestern squares off with Miami University. Indiana faces Florida International. Then number 3 Oregon battles Idaho, followed by Washington against Weber State. It's all ahead, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. You used to seeing Oregon and Washington in this graphic yet?
I'm still getting used to it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Because our coverage just keeps expanding, like I said, into the wee hours. Well, some of the great venues, too. Alton Stadium. Boy, Washington right out in the water there. USC, obviously, the Coliseum, the Rose Bowl. For UCLA, it's hard to beat those venues on the West Coast.
Here's Corbin Allen getting his first carry of the afternoon. Redshirt junior out of Brazil, Indiana. Gain of 1 on first down.
A lot of players from Indiana playing in this football game. Purdue has a chunk. Over 50, right, for Indiana State.
58 of them for Indiana State. That's the most of any D1 team in the country. And that's what Kurt Mallory said. That's why this game is big for us.
Yeah, they like to play Purdue and Indiana alternating each year as their one game against an FBS opponent.
Sycamores will be back here in 2026. Allen again. And a couple yards this time. As that clock continues to tick on what right now is a Purdue shutout. The Sycamores had a 45-yard field goal attempt just before halftime that went wide left. And that's as close as Indiana State has gotten to points today.
Yeah, Kevin Kane, the defensive coordinator. You see Ryan Walters right there. They've got a airstrike defense, they call it. That is very, very unique. Really developed when they were at Illinois together. Brought it here. Did it struggle at times last year? Yes. Did they have the depth on the back end? Absolutely not. They had people playing out of position. And now they've got some pieces they think they can compete at a very high level when they play that very difficult schedule.
On the flip side, it's always tough to judge a game like this if you're a team like Indiana State. And look, it's 42-0. At the same time, I think we've seen a couple of blips of optimism. Rashad Rochelle has looked dangerous at times. They know they've got a good player back there in Ples Lawrence. And Elijah Owens might have the throw of the day.
Right. No, I'm Elijah Owens. They got to be happy about that. They have a veteran defense. We saw Garrett Olendike making plays. They just got overpowered at the point of attack and not able to get enough pressure on Hudson Card. They'll have a good football season.
Now that punt is deflected at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to end up being downed at the 34-yard line. So it's a net punt of 14 yards. And it was Hudson Miller who got a hand. No, it was Teron Grant. How about Teron Grant, the freshman corner?
The freshman phenom corner who's played a lot, had a big hit in the first half. You see him rush the punt, playing special teams, and his athleticism with the inside move made a great play. And it's hard to tell if the special teams coach is excited with him. He's just an intense guy. I would say excited or maybe upset he didn't block it more. I think he's excited for the young player to block a punt in his first collegiate game. It shows that it's important to him, and getting players to buy in that special teams mean a lot.
First down and 10 from the 35, and a cutback with a burst of speed. This is Elijah Jackson, the redshirt freshman, back in at running back, and he's shown off that burst a couple of times.
He might have the best breakaway speed of any of them between Maccabee and Love. Maccabee has a unique running style. That's why they call him Crazy Legs. Reggie Love, certainly not a burner, but very steady. But Elijah Jackson has that twitch where he gets out in the open. He can be tough to catch.
It's Jackson back with Brown, and this time on play action, they flip it out to Jesse Watson. Takes it inside the 10, down to the 7. Watson is another freshman. I asked Graham Harrell, how deep will you go in terms of your receivers? And he said, we have 6 or 7, and if we're doing more than that, we really like where we are at this point in the game. That's the case here.
Ryan Brown, he's really settled in after his first series here and has looked good. This is the same formation they threw a touchdown to Tibbs out of on the out route. Probably looking to run at this point in the game, though.
Play action out in the flat, and he couldn't connect that time. With Watson, 12 different Boilermakers have caught balls here today.
3-by-1 to the field. That's exactly what Tibbs was able to catch a touchdown play on in the red zone, about the same area of the field. Ryan Walters trying to get some great reps for his second and third team members of this offense.
This is backup quarterback Ryan Brown on his third possession after Hudson Card was masterful through 3 quarters. Jaheim Merriweather pushing the pile inside the 5, down to the 4. Merriweather, a freshman out of Jackson, Tennessee. And we're coming up on our 2-minute timeouts. Boilers in control. Second unit looking to add on.
Rick Pizzo here in our Big Ten Network studio. Get you back to your game for the finish in just a second. But first, quick reminder, 4 games still to come here on the Big Ten Network throughout the course of Saturday afternoon and evening. Northwestern and Indiana highlight the 3:30 Eastern window. Then we'll take you to Oregon, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 local start, and Washington as both the Huskies and Ducks make their Big Ten debuts right here on the Big Ten Network.
Final 2 minutes. This building was sold out when we started today. There was a fan in every seat. That's going to be the case all season long. 3 top 10 opponents will come to Ross-Ade Stadium, and Purdue with a touchdown on their opening possession. And they have not looked back. Looking to cash in on their 7th touchdown of the day. It's Merriweather on the left side, puts his head down, and has the Purdue touchdown. 7 scores from 7 different players here on the afternoon for the Boilers.
Great little scheme here. They had all the offensive line go to the left. Merriweather goes to the right, creates a one-on-one tackle situation, and Merriweather able to bowl through the defender at the goal line.
Freshman Spencer Porath has been perfect today. That continues. 49-0. Boilermakers. I'll add Jaheim Merriweather to the list of players who have gotten into the end zone here today. 3 on the ground, 4 through the air. Hudson Card had all 4 touchdowns for Purdue over those first 3 quarters. Spreading the wealth out here at West Lafayette. Here's Rochelle, yet another return starting from the 4, and Rochelle has a seam. Rochelle cuts back and across the 30, his best return of the day. Indiana State will start what will likely be their final possession here at the 33.
And some good balance for Purdue. 335 yards through the air, 30 of 35 attempts, 248 on the ground with an 8-yard per average rush. That's some good balance from the Graham Harrell air raid offense.
Sycamores with 148 yards of offense, but that has been dwarfed by Purdue, who is just shy of the 600-yard mark on the day. A game like this, if you're the Boilermakers, you want to strike first, you want to leave no doubt. And Purdue did that and have continued to pile on here. Out of the backfield for the Sycamores. They go again with Carson Dunn. He's out of Fishers, one of those 58 players from Indiana State, from the state of Indiana. Most in D1, especially impressive when you consider the FCS rosters are a little smaller than the FBS rosters.
That's where they've kind of focused on recruiting, is the state of Indiana, and the state of Illinois has about 20 players as well for Indiana State.
Yeah, nearly their entire roster comes from one of those 2 states. Out of the pistol on 2nd down and 8. It's done again, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
You think about Purdue this season, they were 4-8 last season. They go to the portal, get some help at offensive line, get some help at corner, have Dylan Thieneman, the all-star safety, back. Kadron Jenkins as well, moving to the linebacker. But they've got pieces there to be a great defense. Year 1 to year 2, Ryan Walters had a huge leap at Illinois defensively. Can they make that leap when they play tougher competition like Notre Dame in 2 weeks? Can Hudson Card look as efficient as he did today and get protected by that offensive line? I think those are the big questions. You keep it Hudson Card healthy and you play Ryan Walters' defense, you're going to have a chance in some football games down the stretch.
Kurt Mallory with the head off, and that's the final play here of the afternoon. Purdue wins resoundingly. Some nice moments for Indiana State, and I think a lot of confidence on that sideline once they get back to Missouri Valley Conference play. But today, all about Ryan Walters and the Purdue Boilermakers, who open up year 2 of the Walters era with a 49-0 win here from Ross-Ade Stadium. That's our final score later today on the Big Ten Network. A day full of football continues. Indiana takes on Florida International. Some will see Northwestern taking on Miami. For Director Todd Benjaminson, for producer Keon Dolat-Shahi, for Jay, for Jordan, I'm Pat. Let's send it to Iowa now. Mark Followill, Anthony Herron, and Melanie Ricks will take you from here.
Johnson inside the 20-yard line. We welcome those of you who have been watching Purdue and their big opening game win over the Indiana State Sycamores, 49-0. Great to have you with us here on Big Ten Network. Mark Followill, Anthony Herron in his coverage of 25th ranked Iowa against Illinois State. Melanie Ricks joins us on the sideline. And Iowa had a 6-0 lead with 2 field goals in the first half, but Cade McNamara, along with receivers Reese Vanderzee and Jacob Gill, have been brilliant in the second half, and so is running back Caleb Johnson, who has his second touchdown in half number 2. With 5:48 to go, Caleb Johnson has run for 64 and now for 18 on touchdown runs here in the final quarter of the game.
Most talented running back Iowa has access to is Caleb Johnson. He's been banged up at times throughout his career, but when he is healthy, he's as good a difference maker as Iowa has access to. And this offensive line imposing their will on the game. Illinois State did a really nice job in the first half